Through some moment of profound idiocy, our forebears decided that it would be a good idea to provide this crazy idea of freedom of speech and freedom of expression via this cosmically stupid First Amendment. This idea that, I know, it's hard to even say it at this point, but this idea that the government in particular should not limit what you are saying, should not be able to curtail or truncate or cut short your obvious brilliance, irrespective of the subject matter and irrespective of any particular or theoretical harm that it may or may not provide. Now, look, I can point out a few things, and maybe you can, and I don't want to waste any time, but it seems to me that while everybody's talking about the problems we're having on campus with hate and this pro-Palestinian craziness and pro-Hamas and pro-hate and pro-violence and pro-terrorism, I don't know why we even allow it in the first place. Why do we even have any speech at college campuses? Why is it? Why is it that a college campus of all places should be the place where people can get up and spew the obviously incorrect? I mean, if I were to walk into a TJ Maxx and pick up the microphone and start spewing drivel about the competition, somebody would say, hey, cut that out. And that's a TJ Maxx. Explain to me, what is so special about a university and Harvard and all these supposed, blue chip Ivy League places? Why is it that we would deign to suggest to some kid that they have the right to speak up regarding a matter that is so obviously and patently obvious? I mean, there's right and there's wrong. There's correct and there's incorrect. There's American and there's un-American. I mean, I don't know why we are playing this. And today was a tragic day of sorts for a number of people. This American institution, Norman Lear, died, I believe, at 103, who did more to confound the system by creating this notion that the idea of the left, that the ideation and the lunacy of the left should be somehow not only heralded but appreciated and allowed. It's time for us to recognize that in the spirit of another amendment, the Fifth Amendment, you have the right to remain silent, and I have the right to enjoy silence from you. And while we're at it, isn't it about time that we just go to the various instruments of hate and racism, anti-Semitism, anti-Americanism, transphobia, whatever you want to do, and shut them down as well? Can you name one thing that TikTok has ever provided in terms of bettering society, other than the latest twerking video or some solipsistic narcissist just wasting their time by pointing out and delimiting the obvious? Can you? Is there anything about this at all? Am I missing the point somewhere? Why is it? Why must we not once and for all recognize that social media were okay, with the exception specifically not only of this particular platform, but this particular channel, because what I put out is the truth. I'm different. And I recognize this, and I think you recognize it as well, because that's why you're here. But why is it that we have this idea that somehow TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or whatever is under this horrible notion of Section 230 of the CDA, that it is somehow this blank slate, this stage, this public forum that allows every jadrul, every fool, every chooch, every lunatic, every nobody to opine and to spill and to utter and to extravasate and through this verbal emesis, this tripe and garbage and egesto, for the love of me. Why is it? What is this idea that we should foster free speech if it's clearly wrong, if it's hateful? Advocating terrorism, using mindless chants and aphorisms and apothegms and shibboleths and phrases, and this ridiculous rote lunacy where people just spew this garbage through this patellar obeisance, the same things over and over, not because they're true, not because they're representative of any benefit, but because they are what everybody else is saying. When are we going to get to the bottom of this, my friends? And when are we going to fix this once and for all? When is it? No, I've just got this very simple answer. You've got hedge fund managers, Bill Ackman and others, who want to go after the law firms of Wall Street, not to hire those individuals who spew this bilge. They're going after the heads of universities to hold them accountable for allowing certain speech. Why is there any speech? Why? Why is there any speech? The First Amendment has nothing about it, and the Congress shall pass no law. It says nothing about schools and universities. I don't understand this. In fact, and I'm this far, you know what? I'm going to say it. What do we need universities for? They're nothing but these absolute, these subjugation, intellectual FEMA, work camps. It's this intellectual death camps, these horrible prisons of some of the most intellectually disconnected, taught by people devoid of any kind of rational thoughts, rational connection, any purpose, anything whatsoever. It's time, my friends, that we shelve this thing called the First Amendment. You name one thing that the First Amendment ever did to really benefit you. Tell me. Tell me. Julian Assange, Snowden, Ellsberg. You know what these people are? You know what they are? Traitors. And don't give me this whistleblower stuff. Whistleblower? Whatever happened to a spy? What the Rosenbergs? What were they? Whistleblowers? Benedict Arnold is a whistleblower. I don't understand it. What happened to us? All of these rules, all of these connections. This is a suicide pact. We're destroying ourselves. We're destroying ourselves, and the people who are responsible are these pusillanimous, impuissant, these lily-livered, atesticular morons who have this crazy idea that somehow society is by creating these various fora, these marketplaces for free ideas and the expression of novel thought. Oh, I want to puke. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think? Comment as you see fit.